Welcome, welcome. Today we have kind of a sketchbook tour, but not exactly, because this is some of my oldest work. And back then I used to paint exclusively on paper, just in pads. So what I've done is put them all together into a display book to create a kind of sketchbook of that period in my life when I was just beginning to paint. Hi, my name's Holland and I'm an amateur mixed media artist and composer. I've put the oldest pieces I can find into this book and it spans a few years. So, starting with this one, and it's roughly in chronological order. So when I first started painting, it was acrylic paints, just really cheap ones that I would buy from places like The Works or Wilkinson, which doesn't exist anymore. Just kind of cheap craft paints, really, but it's held up well, but probably because it's not been in the sun or anything, it's just been stored like this. Now, I remember painting these during the pandemic, which is when I really got into art properly. Again, this is acrylic. I think that I copied this off a reference image that was on, I had like a laptop tray, and there was an image of a lighthouse on there. I really like lighthouses. It reminds me of Withensea, which is where my grandma lives, and it's where I always used to go for holidays or trips out, because we could see the seaside, we could go to the beach and stuff, and we could also visit grandma. I like this sort of combination of the purples and the greens. And then this was also during the pandemic, and it's kind of a dystopian sort of landscape. I really like this one. Obviously the clouds could do with being softer. But to be honest, I still haven't mastered clouds. Continuing with the sort of dystopian theme, we've got explosions and stuff. This one is a real favourite of mine. It might be the favourite, my favourite thing that I've ever painted, to be honest. I just love all the different colours in it, the kind of expressionist thing. And then this is a kind of portrait. Her name is Sasha. I don't think it's a very good likeness, especially not the parts other than the head. And this one, I have several different versions of this. I'm not sure whether I've already shown another version, but this is a goddess rising out of the sea with the moon there. And I like the different colours in her hair. Then we've got a hand. I was trying to go for a sort of a Hamza thing with the leaf vines. I think this is a switch of medium now, because this was acrylic, and then this was when I first got my watercolor pencils. I don't think I activated them very much. This is mostly just colored pencil work. And this too is also colored pencil work. And I can see that I've gone over some of these vines with metallic pens. And this was, I think I was following a tutorial in a book, but I wanted to change it up a little bit and just make her look a bit like a cat. Probably should have done cat eyes too. This was when I discovered gouache. So I'm just kind of experimenting with gouache here, and I went through a bit of a tree phase, so I was painting lots of trees. Here in the distance of this piece, I mean this isn't any specific place except for this bit here, that is Slane's Castle, and you'll see that pop up quite a lot in my paintings. Another tree painting, and I really like this one. I like the swooshes and stuff around it. I like this kind of illustrative style of doing trees. I wanted to experiment with doodly kind of elements alongside the trees. This is kind of the standard forest painting, isn't it really? But with a bit of a sunset in the background. That's gouache as well. And then I was kind of experimenting here with sacred geometry. I think that this is a combination of watercolour and then coloured pencils over the top. I don't really like this one. I think I was trying out some new watercolours that I got that were kind of shiny, which I didn't like them. I think they were just cheap and they weren't very good. But I would like to take this concept and do it with art materials that I like better. This is some more of those shiny watercolours, but I can see that I've also brought in some of my coloured pencils as well. And this, you can see, this is where I learnt the twisty leaves technique, which you can see in one of my other videos as well. I've got a watercolour sketchbook where I was doing some of these. And then this, I think this was not long after the war started in Ukraine. So there was a big sunflower, and this depicts a place called the Tunnel of Love in Ukraine. And then that is just sacred geometry thing. I have a book by Anna something, I'll put it in the description, and that's all about sacred geometry, so that's where that came from. And then this, I think I was attempting to create something with watercolours that I could put onto a card. And then this one, I'll take it out because there's writing on that plastic. So this was, I think I was following a tutorial, and it was just basically saying, go and gather up some leaves and put them on the page and draw around them, and then put watercolour on and then doodle over the top, essentially. And I really like how that one came out, especially this one. And that kind of takes me up to relatively recently, when I then started working in sketchbooks. And you can see another video of mine where I'm working in a small travel watercolour sketchbook. So that is the end of this kind of sketchbook tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.